I was scoped twice in this country.
She had some shit on her neck, so with the dancing, I gave a couple kisses and ingested a little bit.
I did taste something funny. I'm like, okay, this is off, but quickly knocked out. They charged me over like 20 grand on my cards.
He lost 300K in crypto.
Yo estuve como perdida 4 días.
People call it burundanga in Spanish, otherwise known as the devil's trumpet. The rest of the world sees it as the zombie drug. They say it erases your free will, that one breath, one sip, one touch, and you'll hand over everything you own with a smile on your face. But what I found in Medellin is more complicated than that, and way more disturbing, because the real story isn't some magic powder. It's an entire economy built around isolation, vice, and opportunity. Here's how fast it happens. You don't feel it coming. There's no warning. One sip tastes a little bit off, but by then, it's already too late. That's it. No struggle, no dramatic fight, just silence in an empty apartment. Scopolamine is a real pharmaceutical drug. Doctors prescribe it for motion sickness. You might have seen it as a patch behind someone's ear on a cruise ship. But what separates this from medicine and poison? In high dosages, it acts very different. It blocks a chemical in your brain called acetylcholine, which is involved in memory, alertness, and motor control. The result isn't mind control per se, it's chemical incapacitation, confusion, extreme sedation, memory loss, and in many cases, complete blackout. It comes from a plant called burundanga. Locals call it borrachero, which roughly translates to the trunk maker. It has these long bell-shaped flowers hanging down from the branches. Technically, it's classified as extinct in the wild. Every species of burundanga on the planet is listed that way. But here's the thing, people have been cultivating it for so long that it's everywhere. You'll see it on the side of the road, in parks, outside people's houses, almost like a street weed. You can literally grow a new one just by cutting a branch off and sticking it in the ground. Medellin sits at about 1,500 meters elevation, right in a sweet spot for this plant to thrive. During a museum tour, a guide showed me the history.
For the muiscas, it was something totally different. They used to make like some beverages with these plants that were hallucinogenous, and when they drank them, well, they saw what they call future, the visions of the future. But in reality, it was just that they were getting really high, and what they were seeing were hallucinations. But for them, that was the most sacred plant, and it was only used for the shamans. It's also one of the main ingredients of ibuprofen, but can also be one of the most lethal drugs that we have in the world.
People, even today, still use the plant directly. You can make things like tea from it. My source, an insider I'll introduce later, told me he tried it himself.
But most people don't know that's how they make the scopolamine with. So you take that plant and it has a root in the middle of it, and you derive the powder that's in that root, or you make it dry up and then it turns into a powder, and then you mix that powder with root beef and Xanax and alprazolam and clonazepam. And what they do is they mix. If you have a dark drink, they'll put cigarette ashes in there too. So that shit'll make you feel nauseous and sick, and then once the scopolamine hits, you just start throwing up first, and then after you start throwing up, you just pass out, you know, and then they go through your closet, take your credit card, your wallet.
The active compound can be processed into powder or liquid form. Several people I spoke to said it's often combined with sedatives or benzos to increase the effect, which is also what makes it lethal. The more substances in the mix, the harder it is to control the dosage. Possession alone carries serious prison time. But for people with the right connection, access isn't difficult. Now the myth. People say scopolamine turns you into a puppet or zombie, that someone blows powder in your face and you'll empty your bank account on command. One of my sources pushed back on that himself.
It's actually a myth, and is something that is made up.
What, the computer, or?
It's actually something that's not possible to do to somebody unless you hypnotize them. But you can't do that with scopolamine. Like, that's not true. It's actually a lie. Like, people, I don't know why they say that drug is a zombie drug and you'll do whatever the person tells you to do. It doesn't work that way.
It's just they fall asleep.
That drug, what it does, it just knocks you out completely. It just knocks you out. You're just like in a paralyzed state of mind. You can't even move. You can't even move out your bed. You're you'll probably be conscious and you'll be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, can you please get my phone and call somebody for me? Like, you know, you're not able to get up. You're just paralyzed.
It doesn't turn you into a zombie, it makes you a target. In a city where the nightlife economy runs on foreign money, that's more than enough. Mike here has been coming to Medellin for years. People on the street call him Gringo Paisa. But early on, before he understood how things worked out here, he got hit. Twice.
When I was young, dumb, I was scoped twice in this country. But you know why? I broke my own rules. My first time, I invited this girl on Tinder. We went out for dinner, and I took her out. And then I was stupid. I took her home, and I was too trusting. You can't be trusting with these people. I had a beer open. I went to the washroom, and then she put something in my beer. And to be honest, I did taste something funny. I'm like, okay, this is off. And I drank my beer. I'm like, oh, this tastes funny, but quickly knocked out. I woke up the next day after 12 hours. I could barely speak, to be honest, and I had no phone. My laptop was gone. I had a lot of money. I have 1 million cards. They took every card, every single in my bank. They charged me over like 20 grand on my cards. The second time, the dose was really high actually, and I could barely speak and stuff. It was actually horrible. I was close to death, really. These girls aren't doctors, they're thieves, you know? So they don't know how much to give you.
Your phone is the skeleton key. If it's unlocked or you're incapacitated enough that someone can use your face or fingerprint to open it, they have access to everything, of course. Banking apps, crypto wallets, email, no advanced hacking required.
They have pay systems.
Bold.
Yeah, bold, exactly. So they'll bold charge you. Before I had high limits, so they got me good.
Chris didn't even have his drink spiked. He was dancing with a girl, gave her a few kisses on the neck, and that's all it took.
She had some shit on her neck. So with the dancing, I gave a couple kisses and ingested a little bit because I wasn't knocked out that long. I was probably knocked out like 5 hours, but I was like messed up for like 3 days.
Damn.
With like short-term memory loss, like bad. I remember everything I did, but don't have any feeling or like visuals of it.
She took about $750 US in cash from him. His phones and laptops, surprisingly, she left them.
If you find that much money right away, you're out. You're not trying to find more.
Here's the thing, Chris is 6'4", weighs 260 pounds. He thinks his size meant the dose didn't hit as hard. A smaller person with the same amount might not have been as lucky. Osaki is a digital nomad who, at the time, has been in Medellin for 3 months. He wasn't scoped himself, but a close friend was. And what makes his story stand out is how little the typical warning signs applied.
He met this girl off from Bumble. He only knew her for a few days. The second night at his place, after he just came back from soccer. So he's super tired. He was telling me that she would always offer him like drinks. Like, let me get you some water. Let me get you some juice. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm not thirsty or anything like that. But that night, I guess he was tired, he was fatigued, so he did give in a little bit. She went to go give him some water while she was giving him a massage. And then he drinks a bit of the water, and then he says, like, almost instantly, he starts to feel a little bit weird. Like, it starts to feel like something's wrong. Next thing you know, he wakes up, all his shit is gone. His passport, his money, his wallet, his laptop, like everything. She even took underwear. Like, I'm like, what?
He wasn't drunk, he wasn't at a club, he wasn't on Tinder at 3 a.m. He was at home, sober after playing soccer. And it still happened. There's one more story I won't detail on camera because, well, I didn't get an interview. But a close friend of mine, he's very smart, he's calm, he's well-traveled, even he got He had to be airlifted to a hospital after getting scoped. A medical emergency, full airlift. He survived, but barely. Different stories, different people, but the same pattern. And these are just the ones that he's able to sit down with. There are thousands of stories online, entire Facebook groups dedicated to scopolamine victims, surveillance footage of women spiking drinks, figures like the queen of scopolamine going viral online. The awareness is growing, more men are catching on, but the system hasn't slowed down. Look, I was able to sit down with a prostitute. We only talked. She agreed to talk about scopolamine, not because she uses it, but because she's seen it up close, and because she's been a victim of it herself. She was only 10 years old.
Yo estaba ahí en Prado y yo estaba ahí pues parchando, fumando pues normal, y el muchacho me llevó con mentiras, me dijo que me iba a regalar cosas para mi casa y no me regaló nada y me metió droga por la nariz y yo quedé dormida en el suelo y no me podía ni parar ni nada.
She was hospitalized for 4 days, unconscious the entire time. Her family had to be found through social media by hospital staff. She told me the women who do this aren't operating alone. They work with partners, usually men, who handle the technical side, the phones, the bank accounts, logistics.
That man will know everything about hacking phones and whatever. So he's like the, you know what they call pimper? Is that?
Yeah, the pimp. Yeah. Yeah, the pimp.
Yeah, the pimp is the one who's in charge of the business.
She said the drug is expensive, around 100,000 pesos for a quality dose. That's about $30 or so in USD. The girls don't practice beforehand. There's no trial runs, and the primary hunting ground isn't the clubs or streets.
Sí, apps,
Solo apps.
aplicaciones.
Dating apps.
She also confirmed something I kept hearing. Not all hotels require real ID. Some girls use fake IDs. And there are specific hotels off the radar where this kind of thing happens without interference. I want to be clear, this woman's a victim herself. She didn't glamorize any of this. She spoke carefully and she spoke from experience, both to someone who's been drugged and someone who's watched it happen around her for years. I spoke directly with police officers in the sketchy part of Medellin. Their message, this problem exists, but it's under control.
Más bien raro. Es por el control que hace la Policía Nacional. Se diría que el 99% de los delitos que se cometen por medio de esta sustancia.
A 99% capture rate. That's what the officer told me on camera. Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy issued an official warning in late 2023, specifically about using dating apps in Medellin. 28 tourists died in the city in 2024 alone. Mike was scoped twice. No one was caught. Chris lost $750. No arrest. Osaki's friend lost everything. No follow-up. Police say it's rare. Victims say it's everywhere. The truth likely sits somewhere in between, but there's a clear gap between the official narrative and what people are actually experiencing on the ground. I wanted to see for myself how easy it is to become a target, so I made a Tinder profile in Medellin and just waited. Within seconds, I had likes from many hot girls. Girls were matching instantly. Multiple women, unprompted, were ready to come directly to my apartment. No coffee, no public meetup, straight to my place, same day. So I tested something. Mid-convo, I brought up scopolamine. Just casually, mentioned it and I heard about it somewhere, asked if it was really a thing here. Blocked every single time. I'm not saying every girl who wants to come over is planning to drug you. That would be insane and unfair. But the speed of the whole thing, hundreds of likes in seconds, immediate willingness to come to a stranger's apartment, and then instantly disappear the moment scopolamine comes up. The pattern is hard to ignore. The police told me this is rare, but my Tinder told me a different story. I spoke with a man who claims direct knowledge and involvement of how the drug economy operates in the Medellin. I can't verify everything he told me, but what he described lines up with what I've heard from victims, from the prostitute and people on the ground. He described the city as divided into territories, controlled by two main organizations, Envigado and Bayo, two areas around Medellin. Every neighborhood has a structure underneath them, and the sex and drug economy feeds directly into it. I asked them where the drug itself actually comes from. Who is making it? How is it made? The answer goes deeper than the city.
They work with is groups the groups that control the territories. They're called La Vuelta. They all have the same name, La Vuelta, Los de La Vuelta. That means the guys from the corner. And usually the guys from the corner are the people who sell drugs in that territory, whichever neighborhood you're at.
So the supply chain starts in rural towns with people connected to armed groups and ends up on a dating app in Medellin. Every step in between, it's organized.
So they put somebody there in charge. So that person who's in charge has probably about 12 drug dealers on every corner. Like on each corner, every 2-3 blocks, he puts one person to be in charge of that one street. Okay, you won't stand here and just try to get clients on this block. And then the other guys, you'll probably put about 2 more on the next 3 blocks up, a little bit further up, and then you'll put the other 2-3 guys on the other side, like across the street from them. So they're all like 2 or 3 blocks away from each other. So in case somebody does something or tries to get them, or like if they see a cop like 12 blocks up, and then they see the cops that are coming down, they'll call the ones that are down the block and be like, hey, the cops is up here, watch out, they're coming they're on the way down. So like, they got everything, like they're operating like with surveillance. Some of these prostitutes don't even sniff pussy or do drugs. They just tell them they're probably some of those prostitutes are girlfriends to the guys who work for the cartel.
Yeah.
So they usually get them clients. They get their own clients, and then they call their boyfriends. They got to pay off the cartel people, pay off the taxi driver, and then whoever she comes along with, like if it's 2 or 3 girls, they all split the profits. And if a cop gets involved, and he's a corrupt cop, he also has to get some money out of it.
Once they have your phone, it goes downtown.
They take the phone downtown to, they have people that work downtown. And you go to these little spots that only people who are crooks know about. And they have a computer that hacks the phone. So they're able to get all your passwords and go just empty your whole account if they want to.
Like a lot of people that I've talked to, it seems like for 10 minutes, they're agreeing to anything. And just telling the girls, okay, here's my bank password, this is how you log in. They're just agreeing, and then the girls send it, and then they're done.
And some of these girls have killed men like that because they just give them too much scopolamine. I mean, they probably already drugged up with crack or cocaine or tussie or something. Because most of these guys are like addicts, and they just want to fuck girls and do drugs.
Yeah.
So, so like they're already drugged up plus the scopolamine, and they're probably drunk at that. So they just have a cardiac arrest or respiratory arrest. They're dead.
Whether every detail is accurate, I can't say for certain. But the picture he paints is consistent with what every single other person I spoke to described. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. Every single victim I talked to said some version of the same thing.
I broke my own rules.
Not all of them were drunk, not all of them were reckless. Osaki's friend was sober at home after playing soccer, but the broader pattern is still there, and it's worth being honest about.
If the girl doesn't want to do the deed right away, like when she's at the apartment, be suspicious of her. She is most likely trying to plot a way to drug you.
Common threats: overconfidence in a foreign environment, late-night decision-making, alcohol, letting physical attraction override instinct, thinking with the wrong head, ignoring small red flags like someone constantly offering you drinks.
He was telling me that she would always offer him like drinks. Like, let me get you some water, let me get you some juice. He's like, no, I'm good, I'm not thirsty or anything like that. But that night, I guess he was tired, he was fatigued, so he did give in a little bit.
I spoke with a dating coach who's been based in Medellin for 3 years. Sam Speaks Dating. He works with foreign men, helping them navigate dating here safely. And he had zero patience for the pattern he keeps seeing.
The biggest issue is the ever-changing tides of the dating scene. Things are just getting pretty chaotic in the Western world. Guys are fucking lost. They're just clueless. They don't know what they're doing, man. And, they go to TikTok and they find people like Rizcam or it's Polo Kid, and they think that's how you bag a shawty. Or they watch people like FitX Fearless and they say, oh, I gotta get my money up. All right, let's do it. And, they're just gonna get played. As far as Colombia, I would say the biggest issue is, especially if you're a foreigner, is, so this is a pretty deep topic. So, and really nobody talks about this. I mentioned it in the documentary a little bit in some segments, but what's happening here in Colombia is because people are discovering that it is a haven of very attractive women in high abundance, is people are flocking over here in droves, right? Like all these men, the passport bros, right? However, the problem that is occurring here is most guys who go to a foreign country in the pursuit of women, it's usually because they can't get those women in the home country that they're based in, okay? So when you have a loser, let's say where you're at in LA,
like me, yeah,
can't get no women, can't get no dates, no matches, he's too scared to cold approach, you name it, right? And they see, maybe my videos, they see, dudes filming women in Parque Riera, which is like the red light district, and they're like, oh my God, the ratio of women's insane, you gotta go to Medellin, boys. And so, they pack up their floral shirts and shorts and flip-flops, and they come out here thinking that, again, as I made a video on, that, oh, I'm an American and these women are gonna worship the ground I walk on because of my US dollars. But the reality is they're just going from being a loser in the States and now being a loser overseas.
He described a vicious cycle. Foreign men flood the city, throw money at women, drive prices up, create resentment, and build the exact conditions that make scopolamine robberies profitable.
If the job market is not providing money, well, how else are they going to get money? Well, for women, it's either being a working girl, doing OnlyFans, webcamming, or something along those lines in the sex work industry, or it's resorting to crime, which is drugging foreigners and robbing them.
He's personally met about a dozen men who have been scoped. The profile is always the same.
They all have the same traits. They don't know Spanish, and they don't have any street smarts, like none at all. Like you could tell them like, hey babe, me as a girl, right? Telling the guy like, hey, me and my friend want to fuck you tonight. Are you down? Okay. And then he gets drugged, right? Like these guys will believe anything if a hot girl says it to their.
Look, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's about recognizing that these attacks exploit predictable human behavior. Loneliness, desire, fatigue, ego, and a universal belief that it won't happen to me. The people running these operations are counting on exactly that. So you're asking yourself and me and everyone involved, what do you actually do? Everyone I spoke to had their own rules, and every single person who got scoped told me they broke theirs. Step 1, avoid first meetings late at night. Find your person early.
Don't pick up after 3 a.m. Find your shit early. You're at the end of the litter, or it's the ones looking to go scam money.
2, don't isolate with a stranger immediately. Meet in public first, vet them. This stuff seems super obvious.
Meet her out in a coffee shop, make sure you vet her, ask her questions to see what her daily life is like.
3, never leave a drink unattended, ever.
You have to keep a cup, like a Stanley cup that has a top on it.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to have drinks around in the open or bottles of liquor, just make sure they're sealed. Because if you leave it out in the open and you go to the bathroom and take a piss, when you come out, you already scopolamine out. They already put that in your drink.
4, lock your valuables. Don't carry debit cards. Use credit cards with insurance and transaction limits.
Never bring a debit. Only bring insured cards. Use your Visa.
5, bring a burner phone. Keep your real phone with your banking apps, crypto, email hidden or locked up.
Get a burner phone, and leave your important phone with all your important shit hidden. So if they steal your burner, it's a fucking burner, right? Nothing happened.
6, stay away from people doing drugs.
Don't play with girls that do drugs. If you see any pink powder on their nose, stay away from them.
Sam, the dating coach, shared one of the most intense near-miss stories I heard during this entire investigation. His client had a girl over at his apartment. She tried to drug him 3 separate times in one night.
At one point, they were just like on the couch, just kind of like cuddling, kind of like hugging a little bit, whatever. And he felt like her hands going behind his back and like kind of like doing something to his drink. And then like a minute later, she's like, "Here, have a sip, have this drink." And because he's not a retard and he obviously took my advice, he noticed like something might be up, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm good. I'm just gonna have a beer." A couple minutes later, she tries again. "Here, amor, love, here, have a drink." And he's like, no, I'm good. I got my drink. I'm fine, right? And then she tries a third time where she gets on his lap, kisses him, and then pours liquid in her mouth into his mouth.
He pushed her off, went downstairs to security, got her removed from the building. Because he knew what to look for, he walked away clean.
If he wasn't aware of that shit, he would have fucking drank on the first time and got fucking rinsed.
That story in particular stuck with me more than almost any other story because it shows that awareness alone can be the difference. Not strength, not luck, just knowing what's happening and refusing to ignore it. I want to end this by saying something that I think gets lost in most coverage of this topic in particular. Medellin is not a war zone. It's not the most unsafe city in the world. It's a really nice city with pretty cool people, good culture, and energy. Every person I interviewed, even the ones who got robbed, said the same thing.
I've had a very safe experience here because I don't tend to put myself in bad situations. I've gotten out. It's one of the best choices I've made.
Don't let anything I said scare you off. If you want to experience life, you should definitely come to Medellin. It's worth a 7-day trip at least.
This video isn't about fear-mongering. It's about awareness. Scopolamine isn't magic. It's chemistry. And the system around it is in chaos. It's organized crime, predictable and exploitable if you understand how it works. The people who get hurt are not stupid. Well, not 100% stupid. They're human. They're lonely or tired or overconfident or just having a good time and let their guard down for one moment. The difference between a great trip and a nightmare isn't luck. It's discipline. Know your rules, follow them, and respect the place you're in.